This courtroom is about to explode. A judge with 25 years on the bench says he's never been disrespected like this, and that alone tells you how serious this situation is. We've got defiance, confusion, and a defendant who may not fully understand the storm he's walking into. But here's the real question. Is this ignorance, strategy, or something deeper? Stay locked in, because what unfolds next could completely change the outcome of this case.
I've been on this bench almost 25 years, and never have I ever been insulted in the fashion you just insulted this court. No. My turn.
25 years on the bench, and the judge says he's never seen this before. That's not just frustration. That's a serious warning. In a courtroom, respect isn't optional. Do you think this defendant realizes how badly this could go?
To Justice Madam,
I'm sorry?
so I'm Thomas Styron, the living man, not Thomas Ulrich Styron, the entity you know me as, or as I'm in my own papers. I'm here for Justice Madam.
All right, thank you. You wish to be represented by an attorney, sir?
No, I'm here, sir, Garrison, corporate persona.
All right. I do have to advise, so you're going to represent, you need to stand in the middle of the podium where he's telling you to stand.
Check back there. I'll take the cuts off.
I don't know if we're going to be doing all that, but let me ask you something. On the Styron matter, I sent my bailiff back to get him to bring him back out. The court is of the understanding that defendant number one is being, I will say, uncooperative, has purposely done some things to make it difficult to bring him out. What I'm going to do at this point in time, we're not going to wait and not going to play his game. We will hear him next week because of his behavior today before the court. At this point, I will revoke his bond, and I will adjourn the probable cause conference. He certainly poses a risk to even bring him out. So I will adjourn this out to May 2nd, 2024, 9 a.m., or as the invite indicates. I will leave it there for the reasons that I've stated on the record. Mr. Mansour, he is not represented by counsel. If you would, for the court, take the opportunity to come back and to apprise him that of what the court has done, and that I will see him next week.
Yes, sir.
The court feeling that he's being uncooperative and not compliant. All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you. Court does call the case, People versus Tariq Day.
I'm Tariq Day, the executor of the Tariq Day Living Trust and the registered owner of the Tariq Day Ex-Relatione Kingdom Wilson Estate.
Right. So you are appearing here without an attorney. I do have to advise you that you are charged with the offense of fleeing and eluding in the 3rd degree under the Motor Vehicle Code. That is a felony punishable by up to 5 years incarceration and or a $1,000 fine plus court cost. Additionally, the Secretary of State could suspend your driving privileges for up to a year. Do you understand that, sir?
I comprehend.
Do you understand?
I comprehend, yes.
The court has to further advise you that if you wish to be represented by counsel, the court would ensure that counsel would be appointed to represent you in this matter, and that you would have counsel if you could not afford to hire counsel yourself. I also wish to advise you that the court would be treating you the same as it would the people in this case. There are certain dangers to representing yourself in this matter, in that you will be required to abide by the Michigan court rules, the Michigan rules of evidence, and all of the cases and statutory requirements. You understand that?
I do not.
This is where things take a dangerous turn. The judge is laying out something critical. Representing yourself in a felony case is not just risky, it can be catastrophic. He's being told, very clearly, that he'll be held to the same legal standards as a trained attorney, rules of evidence, procedure, and courtroom conduct. But instead of acknowledging that, he says he doesn't understand. That's a massive red flag. In legal terms, this opens the door to serious concerns about competency. And here's the bigger picture. When a defendant refuses to engage with the legal framework of the court, it doesn't weaken the system, it weakens their own defense. So let me ask you, would you ever take on a felony charge without a lawyer, knowing what's at stake?
This is where it gets risky. Representing yourself in a felony case is no joke. The judge is clearly warning him he'll be held to the same standards as a lawyer. And he says he doesn't understand? Would you ever take that risk?
You do not. What is it about that you do not understand?
It's against my religion to adhere or to assimilate to any statutory.
Sir, I'm not asking anything about your religion. It is irrelevant to me. I am indicating that in this proceeding, you will be required to abide by the rules of this court. Do you understand that?
I'm having a hard time understanding why or how religion doesn't play a role. How religion does not play a role.
Religion does not play a role in what I do or what this court does. There are certain rules of this court established by the legislature and the Michigan Supreme Court regarding how these particular proceedings will be conducted. These proceedings will be conducted in accord with those rules. Do you understand that, sir?
Well, according to the American Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, as well as the international or the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples, the state and the governments should.
So you have no authority for what you're about to state because what you're about to state is incorrect.
Oh, I am an indigenous person.
No, sir, what you're about to state is incorrect.
Well,
if you were on indigenous lands, if that's where you're going, then maybe you might be right. As it stands right now, this proceeding is not on indigenous land.
Well, that's a matter of perspective, sir.
It is, and the only perspective that's going to matter on that is mine. We are not on indigenous lands subject to indigenous or tribal rules. We're subject to the rules of the Michigan Supreme Court as they are promulgated, both in terms of procedure and evidence. Do you understand that that's what's happening, sir?
I do not.
What is it that you do not understand?
I don't understand.
Because I'm going to tell you something, sir. If you are unable to establish or understand what I'm saying, and go through this with you again, I have to assume that there may be some reason why you don't understand. This court will take precautions to protect your rights, and I will be sending you for a competency evaluation to make sure that you are competent to stand trial and to stand in these proceedings.
Well, I would agree to a competency if the prosecution, as well as the court and the officers, agree to take a competency.
That's not the way it works. You don't get to make the rules. I'm ordering a competency.
And this right here is the turning point of the entire case. The judge orders a competency evaluation. Now understand, this isn't punishment. This is the court stepping in to determine whether the defendant is even capable of understanding the proceedings against him. When someone repeatedly says they don't understand basic legal obligations, the court has a duty to pause everything and assess mental fitness. That decision alone can delay the case, reshape the defense, and even impact the final outcome. But it also raises a bigger question. Is this genuine confusion, or an attempt to avoid accountability. Now stepping back, this case highlights three major issues: courtroom respect, the risks of self-representation, and the legal system's responsibility to ensure fairness, even when a defendant resists it. Ultimately, the judge maintained control, followed procedure, and prioritized due process over emotion. Backhand index pointing right. If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.